everyone, today we're making Welsh cakes and these are the ingredients you will need to get started. To begin, you will need 2 cups of flour, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, just a little bit of milk, 1 egg, half a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 4 ounces of butter, and a half a cup of currants. And you will also need a mixing bowl, a rolling pin, and a mixing spoon. Alright, so we have our 4 ounces of butter here at room temperature, and what you want to do is add in the 2 cups of flour, so just going to add that in, and then with clean hands you just start to mix it all together into little clumps. So now that we've mixed our butter and our flour together, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of the dry ingredients. So we have our sugar, our allspice, the baking powder, and the currants. Then you can take your wooden spoon and mix it all together. So we've got a little well in the bowl here, and we're going to go ahead and pour in the egg. And this is also when you will use a little bit of milk, but you do need to use your judgment on the milk, so it's not an exact measurement. So we'll just mix that around. We're going to add a little bit of the milk. You could just keep adding a little bit at a time. And the goal here is to get it into a moist dough. So it might take a couple minutes. You just keep pressing in all the ingredients until you get it into a ball shape like this. Okay, so now what you want to do is take the dough that you've made, and on a floured surface you're going to start to roll it out. And you want to definitely use lots of flour, so we're just going to kind of cover this here and put a little bit onto the rolling pin as well. And then you just slowly start to roll it out. Alright, so once you've got your dough laid out flat, you can use a cookie cutter to cut out rounds. I actually don't have a cookie cutter, so I will be using a cheese grater. So what you want to do is place it in, do a little twist, and then you can use a little spatula to pick it up. And then you just keep doing that until you've used up all your dough. Alright, so once you've got all of your rounds cut out, you can go ahead and set your stove or griddle, I'm using a griddle today, to medium or 350 degrees. So we're going to add a little bit of butter. And then you want to place each cake. You can do several at a time. I like doing about 3 or 4 at a time. And you want to cook it on one side until the top begins to look a little bit dry. And you can adjust the heat as you need. All right, so they're looking good to be flipped. So we're just gonna go ahead and grab one, flip it over. So that's about the right color you want them to be, just a little bit browned. Now we'll just wait for the other side to finish cooking. So I'm going to just check to see if they need to be flipped, which they do, or need to be removed. So what you want to do is remove them and place them onto a cooling rack. Then you can serve them plain, however I like to sprinkle mine with sugar. And I like to do that as soon as they come out so that the sugar is a little bit embedded into the cake. All right, so we are done now, all of the Welsh cakes, and you just want to let them sit on a cooling rack for a couple hours before you serve them or store them. Although if you can eat them right off the griddle, then that's definitely better. They're much more yummy. And then in terms of serving, I've done the sugar to serve with them. You can use whipped cream. You can use anything really that you want. And then currants is the dried fruit that I decided to use because that's the most traditional way and the way that I ate them growing up. But you can also use raisins or any other dried fruit that you like. Thanks a lot.